My name is Shannon M. White, and I am 32 years old. 3 months before my wedding, I woke up in the middle of the night, opened Instagram, and saw my fiancé with his ex-girlfriend draped across his lap under the caption, "Sometimes you miss the old days." By morning, I was no longer planning seating charts. By afternoon, I was listing his engagement ring for sale online. But before that photo, before his mother called him screaming, before our wedding became gossip for people who barely knew us, I honestly thought Ethan Cole and I were solid. The wedding was supposed to be September 15th. We had deposits on everything: the venue, the caterer, the photographer, the flowers. My mother had already bought a dress she kept pretending was just an option. Ethan had been talking about Bali for over a year, sending me resort links during lunch breaks and saying, "This is where we'll breathe after all the chaos." We had been together 5 years, engaged for 18 months. I had proposed with a custom white gold diamond band because Ethan once told me men never got beautiful symbols of being chosen. I wanted him to have one. I wanted him to feel wanted. For a long time, I believed he did. Then, Marissa Vale came back into his orbit. Marissa was Ethan's ex from college. They dated 4 years and broke up 7 years ago when they went to different graduate schools. At first, I did not care that they reconnected online. People have pasts. Adults can be civil. I was not interested in becoming the jealous fiancé who searched phones and turned old memories into crimes. But Marissa did not stay in the past. She started appearing in his Saturdays. First, Ethan mentioned she had been at his coffee shop. "Funny coincidence," he said, setting his cup in the sink. Then she was at the gym he had joined 2 months earlier. Then she showed up at a happy hour with his coworkers downtown. Always conveniently nearby. Always laughing at something he said. Always explained away before I even asked. One night, while we were getting ready for bed, I finally said, "You've been running into Marissa a lot." He rolled his eyes. "Don't do that, Shannon." "Do what?" "Act threatened. She's an old friend." "I'm not threatened. I think it's strange that she keeps showing up wherever you are." "She works near my gym. We like the same coffee place. We have mutual friends. It's called living in a small city." He had an answer for everything, which somehow made me feel less reassured. I asked if he had been texting her to meet up. His face changed, not dramatically, just enough. "No, it's random. Why are you interrogating me?" "I'm asking a question." "It feels like you're accusing me." So I dropped it, because I did not want to be that woman. I did not want to become insecure, controlling, dramatic. Every word people use when a woman notices something before she can prove it. I trusted him because trust felt more mature than suspicion. That was my mistake. On Thursday night, Ethan said he was going out with the guys to a club downtown. I stayed home, answered work emails, played a little music while folding laundry, then went to bed around 11. At 1 in the morning, my phone buzzed against the nightstand. Instagram notifications. Ethan had posted new photos. The first one was normal. Ethan and his friends, dressed up, grinning under club lights. The second was a blurry booth picture. The third made my body go cold before my mind caught up. Ethan was sitting in a corner booth with Marissa perched across his lap, one arm around his shoulders, his hand resting at her waist like it belonged there. They were laughing, heads tilted close, the kind of comfort that does not need explanation because it already knows it looks guilty. The caption read, "Sometimes you miss the old days." I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. 47 likes already, comments pouring in. "You two still look good together." "Old flames never die." "Cute." Heart emojis everywhere. I texted him immediately. "We need to talk about that photo." He did not respond until 1:47 a.m. "Still out with the guys, having fun. Don't start tonight. Still out, having fun." with his ex-girlfriend on his lap. By morning, I had not slept. Ethan came into the kitchen smelling like club smoke and expensive cologne, poured coffee, and acted like nothing had cracked open between us. I held up my phone. "Explain this." He sighed. "It was just a fun picture. You posted yourself with your ex on your lap while engaged to me. You're being weird." That was the moment I stopped feeling hurt and started feeling awake. Ethan set his coffee down like I was the one making the morning difficult. His hair was still damp from the shower, and there was a faint red mark on his wrist where his club stamp had been scrubbed almost clean. He looked tired, annoyed, not ashamed. That bothered me more than the photo itself, because shame would have meant some part of him understood the size of what he had done. "It was a joke," he said. "People sit on laps in clubs all the time." Engaged men don't post pictures with their ex-girlfriends on their laps under captions about missing the old days. His jaw tightened. "You're twisting it." "I'm reading it exactly as you wrote it." He grabbed his keys from the counter. "I'm going to brunch with my mom. We can talk later when you're not being dramatic." There it was again. Dramatic. Weird. Threatened. Every word designed to make me question the one thing my eyes had seen clearly. He walked out before I could answer, and the door closing behind him sounded less like an exit and more like permission. I sat at the kitchen table with cold coffee in front of me and opened the photo again. Marissa's hand curled around the back of his neck, Ethan laughing like the world had blurred down to the two of them. Sometimes you miss the old days. It was not one photo. It was months of random run-ins. Months of him defending coincidence harder than he defended me. Months of me shrinking my discomfort so he would not call it insecurity. Then I remembered the ring. Ethan had stopped wearing it 2 weeks earlier, claiming the gym weights were scratching the band, and he wanted to keep it safe until the wedding. I had believed him, because believing him was easier than asking why a man, 3 months from marriage, suddenly wanted the symbol of that marriage locked away. The ring sat in my safe, 14-karat white gold, custom band, 1.5-carat diamond set low, so it looked masculine but still unmistakably expensive. $12,000. 2 years of saving. 18 months of him showing it off, posting it, letting people praise how modern and romantic it was that his fiancé had proposed properly. I opened the safe and took it out. For a moment, I held it in my palm and felt the weight of every plan we had made. September 15th, Bali. The vows I had started writing in a note on my phone. Then I placed the ring on a square of black velvet, took a clear photo, and opened Facebook Marketplace. Engagement ring, 14K white gold band with 1.5-carat diamond. Excellent condition. Comes with original appraisal and certificate. Asking $9,500 for quick sale. Then I typed the title. Engagement off. Ring for sale. Make an offer. Came with too much baggage. My thumb hovered over the post button. I knew once I posted it, there would be no quiet version of this breakup. His family would see. My family would see. Friends, coworkers, strangers who had liked his photo without thinking would see. But Ethan had already made humiliation public. I was simply refusing to suffer privately for it. At 2:14 p.m., I posted it. Then I shared it to my personal Facebook. The first message came within 5 minutes from a woman asking if the ring was still available for her son's proposal. I told her I would decide by end of business. Then more messages came. Questions, shocked reactions, screenshots, a cousin texting, "Shannon, what happened?" I did not answer. I just waited. Ethan found out at 4:47 p.m., not because he saw the post himself, but because his mother, Patricia, called him screaming. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. "What the hell are you doing?" he shouted. "You're selling my ring?" "Yes." "You can't do that. It's mine." I paid for it. The engagement is conditional on a marriage that is no longer happening. You're insane! Take it down! Everyone is seeing this. I know. That's the point. He went quiet, then lowered his voice like he was suddenly remembering how to sound hurt. You're going to throw away 5 years because of one photo? The photo was the last straw, Ethan, not the first. You don't understand. Marissa and I were just... I hung up. He called back 4 times. I did not answer. He texted that we needed to talk, that I was being cruel, that I was embarrassing him. Embarrassing him. As if he had not smiled into a camera with another woman on his lap and handed the internet the match. By evening, the story had reached his family. His father called me, angry at first, until I sent him the photo. The silence on the line changed everything. Oh, he said. One word, heavy as a verdict. Robert did not yell after I sent him the photo. He had called ready to defend his son, and I could hear that fatherly anger sitting in his throat, polished and loaded. Then the image landed on his screen. Ethan laughing with Marissa across his lap, her arm around him. His caption about missing the old days, glowing beneath it like a confession he had been too arrogant to recognize. Robert went silent for so long I thought the call had dropped. Then he said, "Oh." Just one word, but it carried every deposit, every invitation, every lie Ethan had dressed up as coincidence. By that evening, the story had spread faster than I expected. Patricia showed Robert the marketplace listing. Robert showed her the photo. And somewhere between their kitchen and the family group chat, Ethan lost control of the narrative. His aunt saw it. His cousins saw it. My mother saw it after one of her friends sent a screenshot with a message that said, "Is this Shannon?" By 7 o'clock, my phone was a storm of missed calls. Not from Ethan alone, but from people who suddenly wanted to know whether the wedding was still happening, whether the ring was really for sale, whether the woman in the picture was truly his ex. A local social media page picked it up before midnight. Someone had screenshotted the ring listing and placed it beside Ethan's club photo. The caption practically wrote itself. Engagement off, ring for sale, too much baggage. I did not feed the drama, but I did not correct it either. The facts were already there. Ethan had posted his disrespect publicly. I had posted my answer publicly. For once, I refused to make myself smaller so a man could look less guilty. Saturday morning, I met the buyer at a coffee shop downtown. Her name was Susan, and she was buying the ring for her son's proposal. She examined it gently, almost reverently, as if she understood she was holding the remains of one story and the beginning of another. She handed me $9,500 in cash. I handed her the velvet box. "I hope your next relationship is kinder to you," she said. I smiled, and to my own surprise, it was real. I think it will be. Ethan spent the weekend trying to reach me. 23 calls, long texts, short texts, angry ones, begging ones. He said the photo was innocent. He said Marissa had only sat there for a second. He said he had been drunk. He said I had humiliated him. He never started with, "I hurt you." That told me everything. Marissa tried damage control too, commenting under one repost that nothing inappropriate had happened and people were twisting a harmless joke. The internet did what the internet does. Then why sit on his lap? Why that caption? Why post it 3 months before his wedding? She deleted the comment within an hour and unfollowed Ethan by Sunday night. Patricia called me Sunday evening. Her voice sounded tired, stripped of performance. "I am sorry my son was an idiot," she said. "You did not deserve this." "I appreciate that," I told her. But this did not start with one photo. So I told her about the months of Marissa appearing everywhere, the coffee shop, the gym, the happy hours, the way Ethan dismissed every concern until I felt ridiculous for having eyes. Patricia went quiet. The next day, she confronted him. Later, she told me Ethan admitted he had been confused by Marissa's attention. He liked being wanted by someone from his past. He liked the chase, the secret spark, the feeling of being desirable without the responsibility of choosing. He insisted he never meant to cheat. Maybe he believed that. But emotional betrayal does not need a hotel room to become real. The wedding was officially canceled Monday morning. My lawyer contacted Ethan's lawyer about deposits. We split the losses evenly. The venue rebooked. The caterer found another couple. The photographer filled the date. It was strange, watching a day that had once felt sacred become an opening on someone else's calendar. Life moved on with brutal efficiency. 3 months later, the gossip faded. Ethan started therapy, according to Patricia. Marissa disappeared from his life the moment consequences replaced flirtation. The ring now belonged to someone else, maybe already on another hand, part of a love story that had nothing to do with me. I was dating casually, not rushing, not trying to prove I was fine. I simply was. 6 months after the breakup, Ethan emailed once. Subject line: I'm sorry. He admitted he had been emotionally unfaithful. He apologized for making me feel insecure when I had been right to question him. He said therapy helped him understand that he had wanted validation more than he had protected our relationship. He did not ask me to respond, so I did not. People can debate whether I should have handled it privately. I understand why some think I was cruel, but I did not invent a public humiliation. Ethan did. He posted his truth first, smiling under club lights with his ex-girlfriend in his lap. I only answered with mine. Sometimes, betrayal does not need revenge. Sometimes, it needs daylight.